How are you doing there, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Sean. I'm from Dublin, and I'm just doing a review on a bike that I bought this year. This bike was assembled, and I bought it on the same day, which was the 3rd of February 2015. Today is the 18th of November 2015. So I've had it over 9 months, near 10 months now, and I thought I'd leave that kind of time before I did a review on it, because I kind of felt that I kind of had to, get to know the bike a little before I could and put it through its paces before I could do a proper a review. And I'm doing the review really because before I went out and got this, I actually had checked out a lot of reviews on YouTube that were very helpful to me, And I thought, yeah, I'd do the same thing. It's more for people that are maybe considering investing in a new bike, maybe getting into cycling again. That haven't cycled in a few years and are kind of thinking about what to buy, and because it took me a few months really to decide on this bike, and after watching all the reviews and stuff, and I had checked out all the major bike manufacturers and all the different bikes I had checked out, from Cannondale to Specialized to Giant to Trek to pretty much everything, and I settled on this bike here. Like I say, I live in Dublin, so I needed a bike that was gonna, and I live in the city as well, in Dublin City, and I needed a bike really that could kind of could cope with Dublin, living in Dublin, and because on one side of us here we have the coast, and on the other side of us we have Dublin Mountains, which I spend a lot of time in both, and particularly up in Dublin Mountains I spend quite a bit of time. But even going through town, some streets are cobbled and it can be potholes here and there, like any city, I suppose. So I wanted something with a front suspension and something I could lock out the front suspension, and so I could have a rigid fork or a full suspension fork. So I like road biking. I'm cycling now since I'm 5 years old, and I'm 30. Or sorry, I'm 44 now. I wish I was 30 something. So I've been cycling 39 years, and I've cycled everything at one point or other with two wheels on it, from BMXs, the fixie bikes, the mountain bikes, the road bikes, the bombers, the choppers, the whole lot. I've cycled everything. And when I was going to get a bike, I wasn't sure, because I love road biking, I love mountain biking, and I was kind of I didn't know what to go for, so I just thought I'd go for the Swiss Army knife of bikes, a bike that could do everything. So this is my road bike, my mountain bike, my touring bike. It's my first, my last, my everything. So yeah, it's pretty much the Swiss Army knife of bikes that'll do everything for you, and like I say, I'm not going to be going up any red trails or black diamond trails on it, So it's, like I say, it's perfect for the environment that I'm in, and you need to consider like what you want the bike for. I use it for commuting as well, of course, and so yeah, for commuting, for touring, for mountain biking, road biking, the whole lot. So if you're like that as well, maybe you might think of an all-terrain hybrid like this is, otherwise it's a cross bike, known as cross bike as well, but an all-terrain hybrid is what it's more commonly known as. And I'll run over it. The frame is, I love the colours, and the video doesn't really do that much justice to the colour, in fairness. It's smoky blue and flash red, really, really nice, with a dash of black going through the crossbar there. The down tube is nice and meaty here. It's flat here, and we have internal cable routing here, which you can see. I really like the internal cable routing. Actually, it makes the bike look a lot sleeker. Plus, it houses the wire, which protects it obviously from the elements and stuff like that. It's a 54 centimeter, and like I say, it has connections here for pannier racks and mud guards here. So yeah, but the pannier racks, I will be using it for touring around the country and stuff like that. I might even also get a trailer for it. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to try with the pannier racks first, because the pannier racks will be handy, because I can use them for commuting plus touring and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's a really nice frame, beautiful frame actually. The wheels are Cube SX disc wheels. They're actually 28 inch. Well, so they say they're 28 inch, not 27.5, not 29, but 28. And they're really fast moving. And like I say, they're SX disc wheels, so they're bomb-proof. They're 32 spoke front and rear, but because they're SX wheels, they're really, really tough. I've gone over a lot of rocky environment on them, and down a lot of steps and flights of steps, and done some bits of jumps here and there and stuff, and I've no problem. There's nothing needs to be trued on this. You know, it's they're rock solid wheels, and that's what I love about Cube. The brand is Cube, as you can see here, and this is a country light system. We have CLS here, and that's not a boy band's name. It's a country light system, is what that means. You know, we have bottle cage and all that sort of jazz. Cube, I love Cube because of the spec. They give you really good spec for your money. You get a lot of bang for your buck, you know. So those SX disc wheels, like I say, are really tough, fast moving as well. We have 700cc Schwalbe Smart Sam tyres, and I really like them. I'd checked out some reviews again on the tyres before I bought the bike, and some people had said that the Schwalbe Smart Sam they found going round wet ground on tarmac could be a little unstable. That hasn't been my experience, I have to say. I've gone around a lot of wet corners, you know, but yeah, it just hasn't been my experience. Some people may think looking at knobbly tyre, slow, knobbly tyre, but no. We have this thread going down the middle here. It's actually a few millimetres up, so when you're on the road, it's actually just flying on the centre one here, you know, it's not really taking up the whole tyre, so it's fast. And then of course when it's off-road, you're using up more of the tyre there. So the tyre's actually really good. I haven't had any problems with punctures or anything like that, you know, and yeah, I've been off-road, on-road, all sorts of stuff, and I haven't had any problems with the wheels or the tyres whatsoever, you know. Other than with the back tyre, I actually had to replace because I was being a little immature, skidding around corners and, you know, on tarmac, just being stupid. So I broke myself free of that habit after having to buy a new back tyre, so skidding is off unless I'm off-road, you know. So moving on up here, we have for the gearing we have Rapid Fire Plus Shimano Dior Rapid Fire Plus shifters, and they just do what they say on the tin. They're rapid fire, they're really fast, you know. I really like them actually, they're pretty cool. Shimano hydraulic disc brakes. See here, we got the hydraulic disc brake here. And everything is quick release on this. We have the quick release front and back wheel, quick release saddle and everything, you know. So yeah, that's the hydraulic disc brakes here, which are great because they'll stop you in the wet just as well as they'll stop you in the dry. And that's the whole thing about disc brakes, you know. They're fantastic, you know, they really will stop you. And like I say, I'm going to be doing touring and I'll have pannier wax and I'll have a bit of weight on the bike. So if you're going down a hill fast and it's wet ground, and you got weight on your bike, you want to be able to stop your bike, so the hydraulic disc brakes will stop you, you know, as simple as that. You can't beat disc brakes really, you know. So yeah, so we got the hydraulic disc brakes here, the Rapid Fire Plus shifters and stuff. I love as well the handlebar. It's a trail bar, Cube trail bar, and it's really wide. I like a wide trail bar, just it gives you extra stability, of course. If you're on road or off road, you got that extra stability with a wide bar, and I just love a trail bar. You know, it's just comfortable. Here as well, probably my favourite feature, actually, believe it or not, on the bike, is the lockout. You can see here. This here is the lockout for the front suspension. So at the moment, it's on rigid fork right now, and when I press that, now it's full suspension, you know. And the reason I love this so much is because most other bikes that have a lockout will have a lockout down here on the actual suspension. And I mean, look where your hand is to turn off you know, the handlebars. Your hand should be here, you know, and it's actually way down here. So it's better to have your lock, because like here, look, I'm on the brake here. We have the lockout here, the hand's still on the handlebar, you know, so it's just way safer to have your lockout here and more convenient at the end of the day. Just there you go, you know. And I'd use that if I'm out for, let's say, for example, a 3-hour cycle. I could probably use that about 20 times. So, you know, because sometimes you just see, you know, a bit of rough road up ahead of you, or you want to take a shortcut, or, you know, whatever, you know, that front suspension, to be able to lock it out and rigid fork, full suspension that quickly and that easily, is just, do take that into consideration, please. It's so handy for you that you'll just love having your lockout on your handlebar. The light here is just a quick release, illuminate. Look at that. Ooh. Yeah, you don't need batteries. You charge it up with a charger there, so it's very handy. Again, you'll see a lot of people, and they have lights everywhere, man. You know, especially living in the city. You know, you'll see some people that have a big cat eye here, another one on their helmet, and they've got lights everywhere. You know, and they're going around the city, and they're like, you don't really need lights in you because the city is well lit. You know, you should be able to see where you're going. So I'll have it on flash like this, going around the city most of the time. It's just so people can see me. You know, make me more visible. Because, like I say, in the city you should be able to see where you're going, you know, and so you use your main beam for when you get to a dark area or when you're outside the city where there are no lights, you know. So yeah, that's the lights, and they were like €30 for the one in the front and one in the back. I think I actually got them cheaper. I got two, but if you're to buy them individually on their own, they're £30 each. But they're really handy. They're small and they got a really strong light. And like I say, you can charge them, so you're not having to keep forking out on batteries or anything like that, you know. Which you know, keep the cost down. It's a great thing about bike, you know. It's economical. Saddle is a Sella Royale Viper, and it's a nice saddle, you know. It goes lovely with the bike. It's comfortable, and I don't rage on about saddles too much anyway, because I just think that it's, you know, saddle for me it doesn't really matter that much, because I mean, if you've been away for cycling and you're getting back into it, you can have a saddle made out of marshmallow or candy floss or cotton wool, whatever you want, and your ass is still going to get sore. You know, you have to break in your gluteus maximus, your L, aka your ass. You got to break those muscles in, you know, and so yeah, you know, I wouldn't get carried away about a saddle. I mean, when I go touring and doing long distance, I might consider a saddle, but even at that, I don't know, it's fine, you know. Yeah, it's like I say, you got to break those muscles in, really, you know. And again, yeah, quick release. So I'm going to turn the bike around, show you the drivetrain. Okay, so drivetrain, here we go. So let's see now. We have a triple train ring at the front, and we have a 10 speed cassette. So we've got 30 speed bike here. We have 11 to 34 at the back. At the front we have a 48, 36, 26. Rear derailleur is Shimano Dura XT. Rear hub Dura as well, Shimano Dura, and front hub Shimano Dura. So the front derailleur is Shimano LX Topswing. Crankset, Holotech 2 crankset. Again, really good crankset. It gets a lot of power down into this pedal here. When you buy a bike, when you buy a good bike, when you buy any bike really, they come with stock pedals, you know, which are pretty crap. So obviously you have to take into consideration when you're buying a bike the cost of certain things, which I'll go over with you, that you might want to consider, you may not want to consider, but it's worth keeping in mind. And the pedals I got here are dual-sided pedals. So this side here is a flat pedal, ordinary shoes. This side here is clipped in. These are called SPDs, and if you're unsure what SPD means, it means Shimano Pedaling Dynamics. So we're clipped in here, and I'll show you the shoes in a little while that I got. And I would never go back to flat pedals ever again. I just love being clipped in. As simple as that, you know. If you're wondering what the fuss is, it's just that you're clipped into the bike, so you're much more secure, it's safer, you have more control of the bike, your feet aren't going to be slipping off the pedals or anything like that, you know, so you're more secure, you have better control of the bike. Plus, when you cycle, you pedal down on the, but with these, you're pulling up as well as pushing down, so you're using all the muscles on the back of your legs, your hamstrings and your calf muscles, which makes you more efficient, means you can go further, go faster, go everything, you know. Some people are worried that with being clipped in about falling off, not being able to clip out in time. It's fine. I mean, from the very first day, excuse me while I get a bit of wind up. From the very first day when I came back from the bike shop, I had tried SPDs for the first time, and I had no problems with them. Clipping out was easy. It's actually easier than the old toe clips from the old 70s and the 80s and that, you know. So I'd recommend definitely being clipped in. It's just better all around, you know, and I'd never ever even consider going back to ordinary pedals again. In fact, the next bike I have two bikes that I want to get, a road bike and a mountain bike, but I want to get a Cervelo S3, and I'll be getting the Egg Beater clip-ins for that, you know. So I just went for dual-sided because it was my first time being clipped into it, and I just thought I'd go dual-sided. Which I like having dual-sided. It's kind of handy actually, you know. So yeah, so for speed-wise, we have the 4811, and you don't need any more than that around Dublin City, you know. In fact, most of the time I'm on the 36, and not the 48, you know. Because flying around the town, you know, you've got pedestrians coming out in front of you, cars, taxis, buses, trucks, and traffic lights. You know, so you're stopping and starting, stopping and starting. So most of the time I'm on my 36 at the front. But then going up hills again, that's what I love is that I have the mountain bike gearing here for the low gears going up mountains and stuff, and then of course I have the large ring for on the roads when I want a bit of speed and that, you know. And like I said, I can lock out the handlebar when I want a rigid fork, so I can really get there. When I'm on a rigid fork and I'm on the 4811, trust me, I'm clipped in as well. The bike is fast, real fast, you know. So yeah, that 26 34, when I'm going up hills, I go up the Dublin Mountains quite a bit. So I mean, I'm going up easy up those mountains on that granny ring there. I'm doing like 80 to 90 RPM going up the hill, and I get to the top and I'm still buzzing with energy, you know. So definitely, I love the fact that it has that the low gear ratio and the high gear ratio. So you know, any environment or any terrain, this bike really does it, you know. It's like I say, the Swiss Army knife of bikes. It's a lot of fun. It's the most fun I've actually ever had on any bike. And I've cycled, like I say, all sorts of bikes, and this is the most fun. And I'm fitter now, I think, than I've ever been in my life from all the cycling that I've been doing, because I pretty much live on the bike, you know. So yeah, and I got the kickstand as well because I like to protect the bike, and it's going to have pannier racks, got a bit of weight in it, and I don't want any wind blowing it over and cracking in the radio or wrecking my paintwork or whatever. And so yeah, for me, I like to have a kickstand on a bike like this, you know. So that's it really. I lost my light actually on the back here the other day off on, so I have to replace that. You gotta keep yourself visible. So I'll quickly show you the mountain bike shoe. And the difference between the mountain bike shoe and the road bike shoe is that we have a cleat here, which I both have in them, but this one is set up inside the shoe, which means you can walk when you're off the bike on normal ground, whereas the road bike shoe you can't really because you wear the cleat, you know. So that's called a cleat anyway, for those that don't know, and that fits in to the pedal here, and once you're clipped in, then it's a matter of clipping out, it's just kick your foot out, and that's it. It's simple, you know, real easy, and they're quite comfortable as well, you know. So the pedals were like 60 quid or something, and they were like 80 quid, something like that, you know. So again, if you're buying a bike, and you don't have to go 1,000, man, you can get a really good quality bike for half that, really, you know. And a good tip for anybody who wants, like, are thinking, oh, but I want to go faster, how can I make my bike faster, how can I get a fast bike? Well, the best way to get your bike going really fast is just to get really fit, you know, simple as that. Like, the fitter you get, the faster you're going to go, and the further you're going to go. So you could put any those professional cyclists on an average steel frame bike, and they'll be passing everybody else out that are on €10,000 carbon bikes, you know, because they're just fitter, you know, and that's it. It's just, if you want to go faster, get fitter. Don't worry about what can I do to the bike to get the bike faster. Just worry about what you can do to you to get you faster. So anyway, sorry about the preaching, but I just thought I'd throw that in there. So that's the shoes as well as the pedals, and they're, like I say, these are costs you might want to consider when you're thinking about your budget for your bike. Other costs, you could either go for water bottle here. You get your cage, you stick your water in it. You can do the same over this side here, you know, because it's always good to keep yourself obviously hydrated before, during, and after a good cycle, you know. Keep the fluid going, you know. But I decided against that. I might use that bottle cage when I'm touring and I have the pannier racks and everything, but for the moment, what I got a hydration pack. That's the hydration pack. It's a Shimano Unzen 10, and sorry, the bladder decided to get a bit mixed up with it there. I'll show you the bladder in just a second. But this is the bag. It's X harness, so really comfortable, you know. You've plenty of arm movement. It doesn't obstruct you in any way whatsoever. It's really comfortable. It has all sorts of padding, and has on the pad. Then these are little pockets here with Velcro on both sides of them. Breathable material and padding along here to protect you. Padding up here to protect you. Over this side then. Up here we have. I'm sorry again. I'm kind of one hand with the camera and then one hand trying to do everything. So you'll have to forgive the quality of this video. This here pocket is felt lining. So for your telephone or whatever other stuff you want handy there, and protected by felt. It's a waterproof thing as well. You know. Well, it's water resistant anyway. Then we have side entrance to the bag on both sides. And the thing about side entrance is it's really, really handy because with a lot of bags, you know, we'll have a zip across the top and you're reaching down in. But if you've got stuff down into the end of the bag and you're trying to reach down in, it's just hassle, you know. So if you want to get down in, you can just put your hand into the end here with side entrance. And it's side entrance on both sides. I keep things like, you know, puncture repair kit and this multi-tool for the bike. It's like a... yeah, it's got all the different tools here. If anything happens to the bike, you can repair it, you know. Down here in this pocket here, I just, it's no point, I'm not going to take everything out of here. It's just my first aid kit I keep in here, you know. I'm a qualified first responder, so I tend to always have a first aid kit with me. You never know, and it's no point in having skills and not having the tools, you know. So I always keep a first aid kit with me. So that's the bag. It's yeah. So that's my hydration pack. The bladder goes inside the bag. There's a section of the bag. I won't put it open here, but you go in here. This zip here opens up, and there's another section here. Where this hydration pack, the bladder, goes into, and then this comes out on the arm strap here. So it's just easy. This comes out then of the bag. That holds 2 litres of water, and it's just handy. So gloves as well. The bag, I won't go into the expense, but it was over €100 anyway. It was like 120 or something like that, but you can get much cheaper ones than that, you know. And you don't even have to do that. You can just get a bottle cage and you get a bottle. But the gloves, yeah, it has gel padding on the gloves and stuff like that. You can see there, and I mean, I have ergonomic grips on the bike, so I don't need to worry about fatigue. But it saves you from getting hand fatigue. Plus, if you do come off the bike, you have that gel padding that will protect your hand. Because your hands generally will go out to protect yourself when you fall, and they usually get scraped up and stuff. You have a line here of material that's either for sweat or for snot, whichever is your preference or whichever is needed at the time, I suppose. So yeah, a pair of gloves, they were like €50 or something like that, you know. I bought some quality ones. It doesn't matter what. Once they fit you, once they protect you, once they keep you warm, once they do the job, it doesn't matter what brand they are. I don't give a shit about brands. I mean, these are Endura, but I don't. It's just the ones I saw on that day. I just kind of thought I'll take them. Please, 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 please wear a helmet, please, because you know you don't want. I mean, it's so easy to get a brain injury. I mean, you have your skull there to protect your brain, so you want something to protect your skull, you know. And everybody always says, "Oh, geez, I never thought it would be me," you know. And it's so easy to come off and bang your head, and you don't need brain injuries, man. You really don't, you know, because they're long-term, permanent, and it's so unnecessary. So this is a mountain bike helmet, and the difference between a mountain bike helmet is that the mountain bike helmet has the visor on the front here, whereas a road bike helmet wouldn't. We have like a mesh there as well on the front, you can see, and that mesh is to stop like flies and insects and stuff like that getting in. Further on up, there's no mesh, it's just open, so if it's rainy you might want a little cap underneath there just to stop, because the rain will get through, you know. So again, it's a matter of personal preference with helmets, you know. But please get a helmet, get some lights on your bike, and you know, that's the only thing I would say is lights on the helmet. Please do. Everything else you can kind of live without, but you gotta at least have those, and put that into your costing of the bike, you know. Another thing I got as well, which is handy to have, it was only like €15 or something, but it's really, that's a floor pump, and it has the gauge here as well, so you can pump your tyres up, because on your tyres will have the recommended tyre pressure written on your tyres, so you're able to see exactly what you're pumping your tyre up to, you know. And it just saves you getting punctures, man. If you keep your tires pumped up, you just won't be getting punctures and stuff like that as much. You know, I haven't had any punctures, and I generally maybe once a week will, or sometimes twice a week, will make sure I check the pressure of my tires. You know, so that's pretty much everything I can think of. I'll go back to the helmet. Please wear one. Please buy one, and yeah, and lights as well. I mean, I I got some high visibility clothes as well. You know, you don't have to go mad expensive buying like really expensive clothes if you don't want to. Even Pennies actually, they do great range of cycling clothes, reasonably priced as well, high visibility stuff. So if you're on a budget, you can consider going to somewhere like Pennies or one of those stores. They usually do some half decent bike gear. You know, that will do you. So anyway, folks, thanks a million for watching. I hope it's been of some help to anybody who may be considering investing in a bike and getting back into cycling again. I'll just say for cycling that it really, I mean, for my health, it's, oh man, I've never been so fit and healthy, and it's so good for your mind, and it's just mind, body, and soul. You know, for your spirit, just getting out and cycling, you never come back in a bad mood. You know. It's just the best decision I've ever made, best investment I've ever made. I'm so glad I don't drive anymore. And that's not like, I don't want to say to anybody sell your car or anything, because Jesus, I mean, I don't have children or anything. I live in the city, so I don't need a car. But for somebody like me who doesn't need a car, just get rid of the car, man. You'd be so glad without all the insurance, tax, petrol, all the rest of it, you know. And like I say, once I get the panniers and everything on there, you know, it's like I can tour around, have free holidays with my bike and camp out and stuff like that. I'm kind of into the adventure cycling side of things, you know, and this bike is perfect for adventure cycling, you know. So anyway, folks, I hope that's been of some sort of a help, and thanks for taking the time to check out my review. Take care. Bye now.